comprehension questions number 1. When Faber is first introduced, why is he so critical of himself and pessimistic about the world? Why is he then willing to become Montague's mentor? So we have 2 parts to the question, so we're going to see 2 parts of the answer, right? The first part, at first, so Faber believes that he is not sufficiently rebellious. Remember, we thought, we found that Faber thought he was a coward for not standing up to the banning and the movement of getting rid of books, burning them, etc. But feels it is too late to change the world. So felt quite helpless, I would think, and was very much a pessimist. And we can find that when we first hear the conversation between Montague and Faber as well, right? Very doubtful about whether Montague is trustworthy or not. Obviously, in this case, Montague is looking for books, not to burn them, but to read them. Now, why is he then willing to become Montague's mentor? Because helping Montague rekindles his desire to act towards change. Remember, he was like, I really feel alive now. He says, don't apologize, things like that. Because with Montague, he's starting to gain hope in change, hope in becoming or achieving what he hoped to achieve before. Okay, so he becomes Montague's mentor because in doing so, he no longer feels utterly helpless and hopeless. Okay, so those are. Number 5, how do Montague and Faber plan to save their society? So what are they going to do? What things do they plan in order to be the heroes of their society? They will plan to print books and plant them in firemen's houses. Remember, it's a ploy to kind of hurt the reputation of the firemen, right? This would sow seeds of suspicion and undermine the entire corrupt fireman structure. So what we're going to find is Montague and Faber are going to plan this in order to create doubt and suspicion among the people against the firemen whom they've trusted so far. And obviously, what they want to do is reveal the firemen's corrupt nature of why it's wrong or what they're doing is wrong. So what we do understand is that, remember the salamander eating its own tail type of thing? Montague is the fireman, and the fireman is planting books in other firemen's houses. So I don't know. Would you call him a character that is betraying? That's like the Benedict Arnold. Well, I don't know, because obviously he's doing the right thing. Although he's going against his society, the group that he was once affiliated with, what we know is that he desires to obtain truth. Okay, number 6. Why do you think Faber chooses the book of Job from the Old Testament as his first selection to read to Montague? What relationship is there between Montague and the biblical Job? Okay, now before we kind of continue on with this, I want to tell you guys, and I tell this to all of my students, well, I personally enjoy the stories in the Bible. They're great. But not just on a personal level. It's very helpful when you actually study English. Because if you notice, not only this book, but a lot of the classics, a lot of the books you will read, a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of these great classics allude to characters or story of the Bible. So if you've never read any portion of the Bible, I would suggest you read it. If you haven't read the book of Job, I suggest you read it. I'm going to tell you about Job right now, so we are going to understand the question and the answer and how religion, which is a motif in the book, plays a humongous role. Not just the Bible itself as a tool to symbolize truth, but the fact that the stories and the characters coming from the Bible are going to also bring light upon what is happening to the characters.